Hello, my lovelies, and happy Sunday. We are ending this week with a very special Soft Glam Sundays, and I'm going to be talking to you about relearning your worth. This is for the woman who's in between versions of herself. Not who she was, not quite who she's becoming yet. If that's you, you're safe here. Relearning your worth isn't loud. It doesn't look like confidence overnight or suddenly having everything figured out. Most of the time, it looks like sitting with discomfort, like noticing where you've overgiven, where you stayed for too long, where you made excuses for behavior that didn't feel right. It's not glamorous work, but it's honest. One of the hardest things about relearning your worth is grieving the versions of yourself that tolerated less than you deserve. Not because you were weak, but because you were trying to survive, trying to be loved, trying to keep the peace. There's no shame in that, only awareness. And awareness is where everything starts to change. Some days getting ready isn't about looking good. It's about grounding yourself in something familiar. The routine, the repetition, the small sense of control when everything feels uncertain. This isn't about makeup for validation. It's makeup as presence, a reminder that you still belong to yourself. When you start relearning your worth, softness becomes a boundary. You stop over explaining, you stop proving, you stop reacting. Not because you don't care, but because you care enough to protect your energy. Softness doesn't mean you accept less, it means you no longer fight for what you should have freely been given. Worth isn't something you earn whilst you're healed. It's something you practice while you're becoming. And this is something I'm still learning. It's in the way you talk to yourself. It's in the way you choose calm over chaos. It's in the way you walk away without needing closure. This is where the shift happens. It's quiet, but it's internal. I feel like when you question your worth, it isn't always so obvious. You don't really think to yourself, am I worth this? The obvious answer is always no, you're not worth going through the bad times. But it's just part of life, and it's also part of meeting certain people. I have a little bit of a story time for you all. So, back in year seven, so we're talking when I was 11 years old, I had obviously started secondary school. And I was always a bit of a loner. I never really spoke to anyone. I used to have lunches by myself. I had no confidence, and it was all to do with my weight and my insecurity. I never really approached anyone to make friends until I was in maybe year 8 or 9. But that first year of secondary school was really, really tough. It really did make me question my worth. Being at such a young age, you don't think about those things, but it does catch up to you when you're older. I'm going to be 27 soon. And, me thinking that I got bullied at such a young age, it carries on with you in your adult life. You still hold on to certain traumas. You still hold on to certain traits of yourself that was that person all those years ago. You move on, but there's always going to be something in you that questions your worth in different types of ways and different types of situations. And it's when you really need to think you have to heal from these things. But God will put you through so many different situations where you are forced to heal throughout these situations and move on from your past traumas. Having confidence has never come natural to me. It never has, and I don't think it ever really will. Sometimes I do think that you should fake it until you make it, but obviously that only gets you so far. Confidence is something that is so personal to me. It has been my life's lesson my entire life. And makeup has always made me feel so confident. It's not something that I do every day, which is so it's not just a switch that as soon as I put on makeup, I feel confident. It's not like that. Putting on makeup, making yourself feel good, making yourself feel pretty is just the baseline. So, this is the moment that she remembers herself. It's not louder, it's not harder, it's just clearer. The version of her that knows who she is, even if her life hasn't caught up yet. If you're relearning your worth, you don't need to rush the process. You don't need to perform healing. You don't need to look confident every day. You don't need to have proof. Being in between is not failure, it's a transition. So if you're here watching this whilst you're still trying to figure things out, I see you and I'm on this journey with you. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with the woman you're becoming. You're not behind, you're rebuilding. I'll see you next Sunday right here on this channel. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share.